What if suffering wasn't something to fear or avoid, but something to embrace? This question, while uncomfortable, lies at the heart of two of history's most profound thinkers, Friedrich Nietzsche and Søren Kierkegaard. Though separated by time and philosophical style, both explored how hardship shapes us and transforms the way we live. For Nietzsche, life's struggles are a test of our ability to affirm existence itself. He coined the term amor fati, a radical love for one's fate, including its pain and uncertainty. For Kierkegaard, suffering is a crucible where we confront our deepest truths. It is the key to authenticity, to becoming the truest version of ourselves. We're diving into their views on hardship, not just as abstract philosophy, but as practical tools for living a more meaningful life. And yes, these ideas will challenge us, but they might also leave us with the courage to face life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Friedrich Nietzsche wasn't interested in teaching us how to avoid pain. He wanted us to transform it. His philosophy of amor fati, or love of fate, is about embracing every part of our lives, even the moments we wish had never happened. Think about the last time something didn't go your way, a failed relationship, a job you didn't get, a sudden loss. Our first instinct is often to resist these events, to wish they hadn't happened. Nietzsche would argue that this resistance keeps us from truly living. To love your fate, as Nietzsche saw it, means accepting life's trials not just with resignation, but with gratitude. Each experience, no matter how painful, becomes a stepping stone, a necessary part of who we are and who we're becoming. This isn't about romanticizing suffering. Nietzsche wasn't saying, be happy about your pain. Instead, he was saying, see it as essential. Every challenge holds the potential for growth, if we let it. Take a moment to ask yourself, what would it look like to love every part of your life, not just the joys, but the struggles too? This isn't about romanticizing suffering. Nietzsche wasn't saying, be happy about your pain. Instead, he was saying, see it as essential. Every challenge holds the potential for growth, if we let it. Take a moment to ask yourself, what would it look like to love every part of your life, not just the joys, but the struggles too? For Søren Kierkegaard, suffering wasn't just inevitable, it was essential. He believed that life's hardships are what force us to confront the truth of who we are. He famously wrote about despair and anxiety, calling them signposts that lead us to a more authentic existence. These feelings, while uncomfortable, are necessary. They strip away the illusions we cling to, the false identities, the comforting lies, and demand that we face ourselves. Think of a time when you were deeply uncomfortable. Maybe you were stuck in a decision or grappling with a sense that something in your life wasn't right. Kierkegaard would say that discomfort was a gift, a signal that you were being called to live more truthfully. For him, authenticity isn't handed to us. It's something we wrestle with, often through suffering. But the reward? A life that feels undeniably yours. Both Nietzsche and Kierkegaard believed that suffering could lead to strength, but their approaches were distinct. Nietzsche focused on the affirmation of life. He asked us to take the chaos and difficulty we face and transform it into something meaningful. For him, greatness is born from hardship. Kierkegaard, on the other hand, emphasized the inner journey. He saw suffering as the path to a more authentic self, a way to strip away everything false and superficial. What unites them is the idea that suffering isn't a dead end, it's a doorway. The question is, will you step through it? It's easy to dismiss these ideas as outdated. After all, we live in a world that often tells us to avoid pain at all costs. But Nietzsche and Kierkegaard offer a counterpoint. What if avoiding pain also means avoiding growth? Think of Nietzsche's amor fati. The next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this moment shape me? Or Kierkegaard's call to authenticity. When you feel anxiety or despair, resist the urge to distract yourself. Instead, lean into the discomfort. What is it trying to teach you? Both approaches require courage, but they also offer freedom. the freedom to live a life that feels truly yours. Nietzsche and Kierkegaard didn't see suffering as something to avoid. They saw it as a tool, a way to forge strength, authenticity, and purpose. Nietzsche reminds us to embrace life as it is, not as we wish it to be, to love our fate, even the hard parts, because they make us who we are. Kierkegaard shows us that our struggles are an invitation to deeper self-awareness. They strip away illusions and guide us toward a life lived with integrity.